So, topic for today is the process of money laundering. So, it's also a very important topic. I have explained about money laundering in my previous video, and I'm going to explain the process of money laundering, how the money launderers carry out money laundering. The process of money laundering. Money laundering is a single process that happens in three distinct stages. The three levels of money laundering are as follows. The first level in the money laundering process is placement. The placement stage represents the initial entry of the dirty money or yield of crime into a financial setup. Generally, this stage serves two purposes. Firstly, it relieves the criminal of holding and guarding large amount of bulky of cash. Secondly, it places the money into a legitimate financial system. It is during the placement stage that the money launderers are the most vulnerable to being caught. This is due to the fact that placing large amount of money, that is cash, into a legitimate financial system may raise suspicious patience of officials. Techniques of placing illegal money into banking system. So every step has some techniques. So placement has, firstly is smoothing deposit structuring. That means this process includes making multiple deposits in different bank accounts of little sum which falls below the reporting threshold. The main aim of this technique is to infuse the illegal money into legal banking system and make it seem legal and something like a legitimate origin. Secondly, cash deposits followed by a telegraphic transfer. So it means after the deposit of a large amount of cash, that accumulated cash is transferred overseas via telegraphic mode of transfer. Thirdly, connected accounts. Money is deposited into accounts of relatives, neighbors, partners, or different people working for the benefit of the criminals. Fourthly, collection accounts. As the name suggests, collection accounts made to collect funds from various sources. Foreigners pay some into these accounts, and once the funds have been accumulated, the money is then transferred overseas. Next way is multiple loans. A money launderers can avail multiple loans and then pay the loan in installments or as a lump sum amount from illegal money. By doing this, the illegal money gets easily integrated into the legal banking system. Next is currency exchanges, which means black money can be exchanged at currency exchanges and foreign currency can be bought easily. Credit cards and debit cards are also used to convert illegal money, which can be used to pay off outstanding credit and debit card dues. Next is blending funds, using a legitimate business to blend to combine the illegal money with the legitimate profit of the business. So this is the first stage, which means placement, which is involving the dirty money into the financial setup, and these are techniques which I use. Second is layering. After placement comes the layering stage, sometimes called as a structuring. The layering stage is the most complicated, and sometimes it entails the international movement of funds. The first purpose of this stage is to separate the illicit cash from its supply. This can be done by delicate layering of monetary transactions that obscure the audit path and serve the link with the first crime. Techniques used in the layering stage of the money laundering process are: first, electronic funds transfer. Once the illegal money has been placed into a bank account, the money launderers perform multiple electronic funds transfer into various accounts and with different amount of funds. Second, some of the second technique is offshore banks. Money launderers keep their illegal acquired funds in offshore banks because of the laxity in the banking regulation in these particular banks. Offshore banks are famous in Bermuda, Singapore, Simon Island, and Hong Kong because of their laxity in rules and regulation pertaining to banking and finance. And another technique is shell companies. Shell companies are the companies that exist only on paper but not in reality. These companies may have an owner, they may pay their taxes, and they may have the license to carry on a particular business, but in reality they do not carry out any kind of business. Shell companies are used illegitimately to disguise business ownership from law enforcing agencies. Money launderers may use shell companies to wire their money. These companies will act as a front for the launderers to transfer their illegitimate money. Next is trust. Money launderers may transfer their money into the favor of trust. It may seem like donation, but the reality is that the donation towards trust is the money obtained illegally. And the last step is integration. The final stage of the money laundering process is termed the integration stage. The conclusion of the money integration method is termed the combination stage. It's a combination stage where the money is came to the criminal from whatever appeared to be legitimate source, having been placed at the first as money and satisfied through variety of economic transactions. The criminal payoff are currently totally integrated into the financial setup and might be used for any purpose. Techniques used in the integration stage of the money laundering process are asset sales and purchases. Money launderers indulge in the purchase of expensive assets such as mansions, companies, businesses, vintage car, airplanes, etc. with the money that was once illegal. Second technique is corporate financing. Money launderers invest in the corporation and invest in businesses with the illegal money at this stage. Thirdly is import and export business. The money launderers may get themselves involved in the import and export business because that is the one line of business which reaps exceptionally high profits. So lastly, the final explanation of the money laundering process is placement, illegal money inserted into financial setup, layering, hide the source of funds through series of financial transactions, and thirdly, integration, create legitimate explanation for the source of the funds. Okay, so I am clear, and I have made you clear money laundering and what are the money laundering steps and what are the techniques involved for each step.